Hi everyone, let's talk about pattern matching in SQL. Pattern matching is a useful tool when sometimes you may need to search data by with certain patterns, and you may want to retrieve data that match certain pattern. And to do that, we can use the like operator and also percentage sign and underscore. Now percentage sign it may represent 0, 1 or more characters, and underscore sign can represent a single character. Now the like operator has to go into where statement because it's actually a condition, so it creates a condition to filter out results that do not match this condition. And let's do a couple of examples. So I'm going to go to a SQL editor and let's look at the databases. Now you can look at the staff, and let's say let's get all the staff members, the data about all the staff members whose staff number contains SG or starts with SG. Okay, now since SG is more than one characters, I'm going to use the percentage sign, percentage operator. So let's go back here, select all, basically all the columns. We're going to return from staff where staff number, check staff number starts with SG. Staff number like, now open the single quote, replace the percentage sign here, so we're going to put SG and then the percentage sign. Now this means that whatever variable we're looking for is going to start with SG, and it doesn't matter what comes after it. Okay, so percentage sign represents maybe 0, 1 or multiple characters that come after that. So it can be SG37, it can be SG14, it can be SG ZA something something. It can be any sequence of characters. Let's run this. And we get these results: SG14, SG37, SG5. So it basically filtered out every other staff member whose staff number does not start with SG. Okay. Now this is one way to use percent sign. Percent sign does not have to go to the end. It can also go to beginning, and it can also go in the middle. If you know the characters at the beginning and at the end, and you don't know, and you're looking for a certain sequence in between those, you can place the percent sign in between. Now we can also do another example with the underscore character. Let's say underscore branch. Let's get the 3. I'm going to place 3 underscore characters, and the last character is 1. So this represents there can be 3 characters, numbers or digits or alphabetic characters, letters, and after those 3 letters or numbers, this value needs to end with a 1. Okay, so let's run this, and you see it returned 2 results whose staff number is SL21, SL41. Now if you make, what happens if you add another underscore? It returns empty table. There's nothing, because there's no employee staff that has 4 characters and then a 1 at the end. We can also replace it with percentage sign. So basically, this means that it starts with any sequence and then ends with a 1. So it's going to return every staff member whose staff number ends with a 1. That's what this means. And again, returns the same ones. So this is pattern matching in SQL. Actually, you can use this for creating a search functionality for your web application where people can enter certain book name or part of the book name or part of the author name. But for example, you're doing a library application and you read that part of the name, and then you combine with a like operator, search it, and then it returns all the entries that start with that name. So that's one example how you can use like operator. Now next one is null search. Null in database is a value that is not supplied, that is not known. It's not same as empty string or empty value. So it's basically, it's not supplied. And it's actually not a good thing to have a lot of nulls in database. And sometimes you may need to search by if a value is a null or it's not null. So to do that, you have to use is null. So let's do an example here. Look at the property for rent table. So this is the table for all the properties available for rent. And here you see the property numbers, here streets, city, etc. And then here you see the staff number who actually handles these properties. So for example, this first property is handled by staff SA9. If you look at the staff table, SA9 is Mary Ho. She's the real estate agent for that property. Now let's search for properties who do not work with a real estate agent, which is this property, PG4. It's 6 Lawrence Street in Glasgow, and you can see it's null. The staff number is null, means no staff member is dealing with this property. So I'm going to search for this one. Let's go to query box, select all from property for rent where staff number is null. And it brings this one, the one that I just showed you, because the staff number is null. Currently, nobody is dealing with this. Now, what if you're asked, bring a list of properties that are handled by a real estate agent who actually has a real estate agent that takes care of these properties? Then we can search for is not null. And this will return all the properties that have a real estate agent. Pretty much all the other entries in the database. You can see, and now the last thing for this video, I'm going to talk about column ordering. So we can order returning results based on certain column. For example, let's start with ordering by rent. I'm going to order by rent. So I'm going to use the same query, and this time I'm going to add order by rent here by this field. You can order by any field. You can order by property number, street, etc. It will be alphabetically ordered if it's a non-numeric value. If it's a numeric value, it's going to order by the number's greatness. And let's see what happens now, how this changes. You can see the rents are 650, 400, 375, 600, and 450. So let's run the query. And as you can see, it ordered them by 350, 375, 400. So it's an ascending order. So you can also change this to descending order. So now it's going to order them in descending order. So it's going to start with the highest, and it's going to go to the lowest value, as you can see the rents. You can also do two-column ordering, right? So you can order by rent first, and then we can order by number of rooms. Here you can see. So I'm gonna order by rent and then by the rooms. Now you can see ascending order for the rents, 375, 400, and after it orders with the rent, it orders by the number of rooms as well. But I mean, it makes sense that more rooms have higher price. Here it's kind of hard to see. Maybe let's try to do with the property type, or yeah, property type. Let's see, property type. Right, so you can see flat for the first three and then house for the last two, and also it ordered by the rent. And so that's how you can do column ordering. In the next video, I'm going to talk about aggregate functions. See you next video.